What's going on, my Pokegs? Welcome to the Pokegerse. My name is Gerson, and recently I've been asking my viewers to comment 3 emojis for me to create a brand new Pokemon known as an Emojimon. The catch is that I only have 30 minutes for my lunch break at work in order to complete each design. In this video, I'm going to show you a montage of all the new Pokemon that I created during those lunch breaks. Now, do keep in mind that I only have 30 minutes for each design, so most of them won't have fully fleshed out ideas or be fully rendered like you'd see in my completed designs in my other videos. But I'm still pretty confident that you're going to enjoy a lot of these new designs that I created with the time allowed to make them. Now, in order for me to have a longer lunch break by quitting my current job and making this YouTube channel my actual job, I'm going to need you all to subscribe to this channel at any point if you enjoy any of these designs. And now, let's get into those 30-minute Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a dying rose, a ghost, and a ninja emoji. And I know I keep saying this, but this one for sure is one of the coolest ones I've made for this series so far. I'm going to be creating a ghostly rose ninja whose main ninja costume is created by the rotting rose petals, and the thorny vines from the flower works as its body parts. I even gave it a ninja scarf made out of the thorny vines. The thorns also give it that ghostly, spooky vibe, and I of course had to position it in a pose as if it were doing some sort of shadow clone jutsu. Tap in if you know what I'm referencing with that. Here is the new Pokemon that I created after 30 minutes, and it's gonna be a ghost and grass type. And man, I wish this thing were real. So glad that this viewer sent in this combination of emojis because it worked out so well. So what would you name this? And comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a volcano, a flame emoji, and the Moai stonehead emoji. The volcano and the flame go hand in hand, so that part's gonna be easy, but incorporating the stonehead might be where the challenge lies. Nosepass and Probopass are 2 official Pokemon based on the Moai stonehead, so to make this one a little different, I'm going to be mixing up elements of another stonehead like the Tiki heads and create an erupting volcano monster that will have a face that's almost a hybrid of the 2 stoneheads. I made a face within a crater that reveals the lava within and made arms out of the flowing lava. I know that a Pokemon made out of literal lava seems very dangerous, but I mean Slugma and Macargos are a thing. Here's the full design after 30 or more like 35 minutes. Might have went over my lunchtime there because I got so into the design, but anyway, it's going to be a fire and rock type. I don't really picture this Pokemon being able to move too much, but a stationary volcano monster is pretty awesome. What would you name this Pokemon? Subscribe or follow for more, and comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer, who may or may not have mass commented this emoji combination on all of my videos, dropped a crocodile/alligator emoji, a crown, and the radioactive symbol emoji. For this one, I'm going to be drawing inspiration from the legendary myth of the sewer alligator and make this Pokemon this dwelling radioactive alligator king of the sewers. It has spikes on his head that is supposed to resemble a king's crown, covered by the radioactive waste from the sewers, and to give it more of that kingly look, I gave it a cloak made out of the toxic substance which now covers his body. It's hard to see, but I also incorporated the radioactive logo as a pattern on his torso. Here's the complete design after 30 minutes. It's going to be a poison and dark typing because I feel that this typing definitely fits an awesome design like this. What would you name this Pokemon? Subscribe and follow for more, and comment below your 3 emojis even if you posted a million times like this viewer because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a frog, a pair of swords, and a diamond emoji. My idea for this one was to create a frog warrior whose body is made of diamond. I wanted to give it a similar feeling to the Gen 9 Pokemon Ceruledge, especially since it will also have the double swords for hands concept. I made the majority of its body to be made of a crystal-like texture, and even its head is in the shape of a diamond, with the frog face being formed within the cuts. Much like Ceruledge, I went with more of a knight look, with the armor being made of diamonds. The different shades of blue will help add different dimensions to the crystals, and I played around with the different eye color options, but went with a ruby red look for more contrast. Here is the full design after 30 minutes. I'm gonna give it the rock and fighting type, and man, this thing came out so cool. And since I use so many diamonds and diamond shapes, how many within this design do you count? First to get the correct amount of diamonds will automatically get their emoji Pokemon designed. What would you name this Pokemon? Subscribe or follow for more, and comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer, who was the very first to comment, dropped an elephant, a genie, and a set of hammers emoji. This one at first felt a bit wild of a combination, which is arguably the fun part of the challenge, but when I thought about it more, I remembered the Hindu god Ganesha, a 4-armed elephant-faced deity who's mostly depicted holding some sort of hammer-like object, so definitely easy to just give it a pair of hammers to hold. I went with a light bluish tone to give it more of that genie feel, and I only gave it 2 arms at first because I thought that 4 would feel like it would overwhelm the design, but honestly, if I had another 10 minutes, I'd probably add them on in a crossed arm pose, just like I did for its legs, which aren't really needed since I picture this Pokemon levitating everywhere. But here is the complete design after 30 minutes. I'm giving it the Psychic and Steel typing, and I think that this Pokemon would be a legendary or mythical. I'd love to know what you would name this Pokemon, and comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a scorpion, a trophy, and a car emoji. This one, I'm not gonna lie, I thought was gonna be more on the wacky side, yet challenging to mix this emoji combination together. I decided to make a scorpion-like creature that would have features that make it appear like a car. To make the trophy work into this, I'm essentially gonna make this car be more of a race car, the speed champion of cars. Windshield-like eyeglass that also makes its head look like a race helmet. Its claws carry wheels to move around, and I made its legs have what appears like mufflers sticking out on the sides. Its scorpion stinger will also work as a car spoiler. The gold coloration works with the trophy aspect, and the added colors also remind me of Giratina. Here's the new Pokemon I created after 30 minutes. I actually went ahead and made the full render for this one because I found an outliner that would help me render much faster, but I'm probably not going to have too much time to do that for each design. I'm going to give it the Bug and Steel type, and honestly for this one, I thought it was going to be more of a joke, and honestly it didn't come out too bad. What would you name this Pokemon? Follow or subscribe for more, and comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a shark, a crab, and a hockey stick, and this one became one of the coolest yet wackiest designs I've made for this series so far. I at first looked at this and thought to myself, how the heck was I supposed to make a crab and a shark work in the same design, being that they're both 2 completely different aquatic creatures? But I had this crazy idea of a hockey playing crab that's team mascot was a shark. I essentially made a crab monster with shark features. The main crab body is almost like a hockey helmet with the metal rims and all, and it's even wearing a mouth guard. Its claws are designed to vaguely resemble shark heads, and I even made the crab legs appear like hockey sticks. Here is the complete design after 30 minutes, and man, I'm so glad I actually took on the challenge in creating this Pokemon. I'm gonna give it the Ice and Steel typing. What would you name this Pokemon? And comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a penguin, a person fencing, and a seashell emoji. And as soon as I saw this one, I thought it would be a really straightforward but fun design. I'm essentially going to make a fencing penguin, but I'm going to make the sword, or whatever a fencing sword is called, if it has another name other than fencing sword, out of the seashell. I had the idea of making a hybrid of the fencing helmet mixed with the penguin's face, so I ended up making this an ice-type Pokemon, given that penguins are found near the ice, which makes it easy to make the mesh-like material pattern from the fencing helmet to look like ice cubes. I also eventually ended up making the seashell sword out of ice as well. Here is the completed design after 30 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna give it the pure ice typing, although after thinking about it, this could have easily been an ice fighting or even ice steel. But let me know what you think. What would you name this Pokemon? And comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a flame emoji, a motorcycle, and a skull emoji. In all my time creating Fakemon, I never really made any Vehiclemons, so it's cool that this challenge allowed me to make 2 within the same week. And I know I often get really hype about how cool some of these designs come out, but I'll just wait for you to see the final outcome on this one. With these 3 emojis, I quickly thought about the Marvel Comics anti-hero Ghost Rider, but I didn't want the Skull Flame person to be riding the motorcycle, but instead I thought for it to be the motorcycle. I ended up going with a longer face skull, maybe something that was once a Rapidash, which works with the speed motif. The ghostly flames that form the tires on this Pokemon piece the entire thing together. Here is the full design after 30 or let's say 40 or so minutes. I keep going over my lunch break because I get so into the design, so hopefully I don't get fired for making these. But speaking of fired, this is gonna be a ghost and fire type, and again, I can't help but to feel this is one of the coolest designs I've ever made. I especially love the bone mufflers and the smoky eyes, along with the flame colors that I added onto this design. What would you name this Pokemon? Subscribe or follow to help me quit my job and have a longer lunch break, and comment below your 3 emojis because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. And why is this literally my most favorite thing I've ever created? This user commented a hamburger, a fire emoji, and a Tengu mask, which can be interpreted as mischief or anger. I took the route of creating a very rotund creature that has the appearance of a burger, one that has a hot temper, and this burger is definitely spicy. Its arms are going to look like pieces of lettuce sticking out of the burger, and I added more flames to the shoulders to make it feel like spicy hot sauce overflowing. Here's the Pokemon I created. Not sure if it actually believably worked in the Pokemon world, but I love it so much either way. It literally looks like a Guy Fieri Pokemon, mixed with Gordon Ramsay's personality. I'm giving it the Fire and Fury typing. Get it? Fury? Fairy?
like Guy Fieri? Okay, just comment below what you named this Pokemon and subscribe for more, and comment your 3 emojis down below because
I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a ghost, a robot, and a gorilla emoji, and right off the bat, I already knew that this was going to be a lot of fun to make, although it's honestly going to be a very straightforward approach. I'm basically going to make a robot gorilla that is inhabited by the soul of what might have once have been another ape-like Pokemon. It'll basically have a robo body with bolts to really drive the point home. I think the glowing purple accents will definitely give it more of a ghostly vibe, and I wanted to give it like a button on the center of its chest that has a big crack at the core where the spirit entered from. Here's the new Pokemon that I made. I'm giving it the Ghost and Steel typing. It's definitely giving me like future Paradox Pokemon vibes, but I'd hope they would make something like this in real life because it's pretty cool. Comment below your 3 emojis that you'd like for me to make a new Pokemon from, and follow for more because I have a 30-minute lunch break. Let's create a new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. This viewer commented a black cat, a crystal ball, and a flame emoji. For this one, I'm going to make a black cat Oracle Pokemon that can see one's fortune through its mystic fireball. Fortune seers are often depicted with interesting headpieces, so I wanted to shape the ears on this Pokemon in a way that give off that vibe, especially with the eye-shaped pattern within it. I also gave it a collar made of the fireballs that make it look like a bead necklace. I added extra fireballs around the tail and the tip of its whiskers for extra details. I made the Pokemon appear very mischievous because black cats are often associated with bad luck. Here is the full design after 30 minutes. It's going to be a psychic and fire type. The dark or even ghost typing would have also fit in well with this design, but I ultimately went with the psychic as its main theme is fortune telling. This Pokemon could low-key be a regional Meowth evolution. What would you name this Pokemon? Follow or subscribe for more to help me quit my job and have a longer lunch break, and comment below your 3 emojis because I'll still be creating brand new Pokemon from your 3 emojis. So comment below your 3 emojis, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and I would really love to know down in the comments below which of these new Pokemon was your favorite that I created during those lunch breaks. Thank you again for watching this video, and until next time, have a great day. Peace.